And we're live. Welcome back to the Total 90 Show, formerly known as the Footy Fetish Show. I've got two brand new guests with me here today. We got Coach Wheezy, Coach Dizzle, also known as Wayne and Bijan. We've got our three questions that we're going to ask these guys. I'm going to start with Coach Wheezy, a.k.a. Wayne. First question, Coach Wayne. Yep. What is your first memory of soccer? Can be playing, can be watching, anything. What's your first memory?
That's an easy one. Can I give you two?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
The first one is a ball coming off the goal post and me catching it with my hands.
Oh, God.
And being called for a handball.
Yeah, handball, right.
And just being so confused.
Yeah.
The second is maybe a year later, me having, learned a thing or two, chasing down a ball that was played through and breaking a goalie's nose with my knee.
Damn. Okay, so how old were you when this was all going down?
6.
Damn. Okay.
5, 6, maybe 7.
A young Wayne. Great. Yeah. Okay, now, Coach Dizzle, first memory.
It was when I must have been like 4 or 5 playing in the Lafayette rec leagues, and just remember a bunch of players running across the box, and I think I kicked the ball really hard over all the players towards the goal, and that's all I remember. I just remember the amount of power that I put behind that ball when I took that shot, and for some reason it was my first memory that stuck with me for forever.
Now, is this the first time you remember striking a ball and it just sailing, and you're like, wow?
That's the first time that I actually did anything in a game that I guess that meant anything, because prior to that, from what I've been told, is that I would run away from the ball as a kid. And so this was probably the first time that I actually did something that meant anything on the field, sending the ball. Like, I just remember sending the ball and being amazed at how far it flew in the air and be like, whoa, and that was it.
So how old were you when that happened?
Probably 5 or 6.
Okay.
And I remember the cleats I was wearing. I was wearing some Pumas. Yeah.
Pumas. Okay. All right, so I'm going to double down on this question. What are some first memories of y'all watching soccer? Bijan, I'm going to start with you.
So I remember my dad introduced George Best to me.
Damn.
Watching 101 great goals. And that's when VHSs were big. So he popped it in and he said, watch these. And he, told me what was what. And George Best and Manchester United have been a staple in the family since.
Very nice. Wayne, Coach Wayne, what you got?
I was going to say, I have no recollection of watching soccer prior to probably high school. Having been a teammate of Bijan since, we were 11 years old, that checks. But no, I didn't start watching soccer until Hugh started playing for us when we were freshmen at Jesuit.
Yeah, we used to do those team meetings where he would put on those games.
Really?
Like the
Premier League
the
games?
team get-togethers on Friday nights or something.
Okay. All right, second question. We'll start with Coach Bijan. Who is your favorite team? I think I know.
Man, you.
Gonna say it's probably that one. And Wayne, who's your favorite team?
We're both products of Hubie. Yes, Man U.
It's got to be Man U. Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a sign of a good coach, that he can tell you his favorite team, and you guys admired him so much that you just adopted it.
Yep.
I'm all alone with my AC Milan. Not many of the kids I coach are willing to accept AC Milan as their favorite team. I'm either not doing something right, or the EPL is just too dominant right now.
That's my second favorite team.
Okay. Why is AC Milan your favorite team?
Ronaldinho, Kaká, Maldini, all those guys. Yeah.
Beckham played on that team too.
And seeing Beckham, right? Of course, Zlatan, Thiago Silva. I could just knock them down. Yeah. So then they also, I liked how they were kind of like the catalyst for like world-class soccer. If you go back to like the early 2000s, that's when media was really starting to kind of trend upwards. You're starting to get YouTube is starting to come popular. And Serie A was the top league at the time. All the best soccer players were in Serie A.
Over the English Premier League?
Over the Premier League, for sure. The Italian league was definitely the best league at the time. I mean, AC Milan were the giants at the time. They had been dominating for quite a while in the early 2000s. It was AC Milan, Manchester United meeting up frequently. But if you look down the Serie A table, you had Milan, Juventus, Inter, Roma, Lazio, Napoli. You had Maradona was over there playing for Napoli at one point. We've of course fallen from grace. We're not as dominant as the EPL is now. But
and what about Spain? What about
I'd say,
Barca?
Man, you're going to ask me to rank these right now. I mean, Spain right now has definitely dominating the Champions League. If you look at just the last 10 years, it's been Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. We have seen a lot of EPL teams win it. You saw Bayern kind of get a lucky one during the COVID years. But I'd say Spain overall has been probably doing the best. EPL is definitely catching up with Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea. Probably, putting their names in the hat there. But good question. Last question, and then we'll get into the meat of this podcast. Is who is your favorite player? We'll go with Wayne, and then which player do you feel your game most reflects? Like you most mirror or try to mirror your game after?
Jeez. Favorite player easily is Messi.
Okay.
You know this, Hugh.
I do know that. I already knew that.
Bijan, when Hugh and I worked at Bartlett Engineering, we had an ongoing feud where we would, I would set Hugh's computer screen to just Messi, and he would
Messi
set
in
my
the
computer screen to Ronaldo, Cristiano, to be clear.
Yeah.
There's the famous goat, the goat v goat, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Goat v goat.
I like Messi because he's a little man who makes big things happen. And who do I think I'm most my play? Gosh.
How about this? What is your best position on the field?
Oh, centerman. I love that number 10.
Number 10. Okay.
That's where
I'm.
I'm.
What are you thinking here? Are you thinking old school? We thinking 2000s, modern? If we had to, I can help you kind of drill down.
I would love the help.
All right. So would you say you're one that's on the ball on the dribble, or are you one more of a facilitator, getting the ball and moving it forward? Are you getting stuck in on tackles?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he did for sure.
He did. All right.
When he played, Wayne was always stuck in.
Immediately, I'm thinking of a Xavi, Iniesta type of player, where you're getting the ball, you're distributing, you're not really hogging all the limelight, but you're just kind of the guy that gets everything clicking between the back line, the front line, outside, left back, right back.
I like the Xavi comparison. Yeah. Not being, yeah.
I mean, obviously, they're professionals, but it just gives me kind of a reference for the style of play that you wish to play or do play when you play. And actually, I can confirm this watching you play when we went and did that little pickup on Saturday. It was just nonstop movement. I was actually talking to somebody. I forgot who it was. And one of the things I was doing was I was critically watching both of y'all on and off the ball. And one of the things I noticed immediately, Wayne, is that your runs off the ball were constantly opening up space for other players on the field.
Yeah.
And you were trying to help. And some of these kids are obviously 10 years old, but you were trying to get them to recognize your run, and you'd point behind you I'm making this space for you with my run. And they just weren't getting, they're still young, so they weren't quite getting it.
Of course.
But I definitely noticed that. And Bijan, let's go with you. Who's your favorite player, and then who do you feel your game represents the most?
I've got two favorites.
Okay.
George Best and Ronaldinho.
Nice.
I don't know. I favor trickery, and I like moves and deception. But and I also like, and I burn brightly for a few minutes during the gameplay, and after that I'm done. So, it's kind of similar to maybe George Best and Ronaldinho's careers. Burned Bradley for a couple of years, done. Except, I got about 10 minutes in me per game. It's tough. I mean, Wayne, it looks like he hasn't even skipped a beat. He's out there running all over the place.
Yeah.
I was huffing and
Nonstop.
puffing.
Engine. Wayne was an engine. All right. So who do you represent? Who's your game modeled after or closest to as far as play style, offensively and defensively?
So I was always a winger. I mean, I was like a midfield, but would attack down the line, send to our center forward, or it was Reese Thomas at the time, um, and it became just using the skill to get down the line, send the ball in, or if possible, attack and take the shot on the goal. However, I do favor seeing the pitch, making decisions based off of the way it is, and just making attacking runs, almost selfishly, and trying to make these kind of you know magical goals, so to speak. But that's not a play style that can be consistent or manageable over a long periods of time. It's just the way I like to play because it adds a different element to the game. It adds a creative and fun aspect to it that I think it's like a street style that you don't really see much. You don't see it often. And
been phased out.
Bijan was very creative.
Yeah.
Just like you were very creative.
So Ronaldinho-esque. So Bijan, the question is, I think you're a right-footed player, if I remember correctly.
Both.
But predominantly, what are you predominantly? You're right?
I like my left better than my right, but I'm right-footed.
I was going to say,
Okay.
He literally, I think
makes sense. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he would play. Bijan, you might be the inspiration for me liking a left-footed player being able to break into their right, playing on the left side and break in using their right foot.
So Bijan, my question was, I'm trying to figure out if you're a traditional winger or if you're more an inverted winger. Like your Messi playing on the right is an inverted winger. Ronaldo on the left is an inverted winger because their dominant foot is infield as opposed to I'm trying to think of a classic winger nowadays, like a Neymar on the right side, right-footed, right winger, driving down the wing. I
think I just didn't even know what I was doing at the time. I kind of just played off of pure instinct. There's a lot of analysis that goes on nowadays that I didn't even think about when I played. I just remember being like, oh gosh, I got 3 dudes. I gotta keep the ball tight, get out of here, and get that ball to Wayne, or make the run. I never really thought this is a past, right? So I can't really say if I can't define which style of player I was. But when I don't know, so I just would use whatever tool to get the job done, and that was getting the ball down the line and in the box for us to score.
So it sounds like you're looking to cross a ball into a box versus driving inside to get a shot off. If you had to pick,
if I had to pick, it was the cross.
The cross. So I would say you're more of like a traditional winger, getting down the sideline, swinging one in, right?
Like a Mark Overmars from Netherlands. Beasting at speed down the line. Finding Dennis Bergkamp in the middle. Bam. Yeah.
Nicely done. Very nice.
Bijan was a very creative player. Very, very
creative. Thank you.
Nice. Ronaldinho being one of your favorite players, that checks out. I would say he's one of those wingers that's, you don't know where he's going, inside, outside, down the line, inside. So I would imagine you could probably say that he's someone who you mirrored your game off of as well.
Yeah, I wish I could say that. I mean,
reasonably, like a layman. I'm not saying you played like him, but for the most part, you tried to play like he would. He was very creative in trying to open up play for your teammates.
Yep.
Okay.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into it.
We had a good run.
We did.
In our playing years, the 8 years that Bijan and I played together, man, we had a good run.
A lot of time spent on the ball together. You don't realize how I guess, camaraderie you develop over all those years playing club and school, and it's a whole another level of the sport.
Lifelong bonds.
Oh,
Yep.
for sure. I tell people that the sport of soccer has given me so much in life, and that the amount of friendships that I have made, not only in the U.S., but around the world. I could show up to almost any continent in the world now and call up a buddy in that continent and be like, hey, man, I'm here. I can get to your place. Can I stay with you? And they'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Come on over. And it's only because I played soccer with them and was good enough that they were like, hey, play with us again. And it was like, okay, and it's like you said, it's that camaraderie that's built. And the more you play, the stronger that camaraderie becomes. So couldn't agree more about, building that camaraderie over time, just on the pitch with the boys. Winning games, of course, builds the most camaraderie of all.
Right.
But, nonetheless, just a pickup as well is also a lot of fun. So
On the pitch with the boys,
on the pitch
having
with
a
the
beer.
boys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So why are we here? We're here because Coach Dizzle, Coach Wheezy are about to kick off their season tomorrow. And we are going to break down some formations. So we talked ahead of time. We know Coach Wayne wants to run with the old school stopper sweeper, the 3-man backline. And Coach Dizzle wants to run with a 4-man backline. Not to say that either is wrong, either is right. But we want to have some options for this team as the season goes on. I personally love both a 3-man and a 4-man backline. I'm a little biased to the 3-man backline, but that's just more of the influence of the Dutch style of play. So who would like to go first in breaking down their shape? If not, I'll just pick it random. Wayne, love it. Okay, so Wayne, go ahead, kick us off. Why do you like the stopper, sweeper, 3-man backline?
And then to bring some context to this, that Bijan and I are both, co-coaches of a 5th grade, 11-year-old soccer team, of which we have only had one practice with many of our kids missing. We're playing a very talented team with from experience, past experience, just a bunch of athletes. The game style is long ball. They play the ball to the athletes who just, pretty much long ball over top. So my thought, Bijan, is to play a sweeper, or a last man, that number 5, somewhat deep. Not necessarily even deep, but just behind our number 4. So to not play a flat back 4.
Yeah.
So
and wait, go into why you want to do that. You had said something to me earlier, why you thought this was important. I was like, bring that up. So why do you like that?
God, let me see if I can remember what exactly I told you.
I can help.
Help.
It was to designate someone being that guy in the back.
Exactly. Yeah.
So elaborate on that. You were talking about kickball, and as we're talking about this, I'm realizing how valuable that is. Because like you were saying, most teams – go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, if we're playing a flat back 4, where I think we can advance to throughout the season, and having the 2 center backs communicate with each other, and knowing without having practiced that, we need one person to know that you are the last man.
I like that.
Who's that guy? Who's that player?
And that's the next question.
Yeah.
Who's that player?
So
it's a good question. We were talking about this.
For me, I don't I have 2 in mind. I do like I like William because I think he has enough experience to know that position. He's used to playing outside back. I don't know if we have anybody else on the field. Well, and Hugh made a good point that Harry might be the most experienced person to play that position. The thing that I'm not worried about with Harry, because he's got everything to do it. It's just the size. Usually you want that sweeper to be a big imposing force. So like Luke Finasci or even William Nielsen could possibly fill that role. I would even, Hugh, like we were talking earlier, like dropping Jacob. I don't think Jacob would be happy necessarily about playing it or even know how to play, because he's normally playing midfield or an attacking role. But I feel like we need a big body.
And to add on to that, you need someone who on the ball is competent. And
very true.
And very true. Play a pass. If you can get someone to make a tackle and just pass it to Rambo, like 50% of the work is done already. Because then, I mean, you can argue 75% of the work is done.
Eli Hubble was showing some pretty impressive stuff as goalie, playing like a center back during that during the game. Eli Hubble. He's at the number 2 spot. He came out of the goal and was playing like a sweeper keeper, to where he was quickly jumping on the ball and distributing it, showing tactical IQ, like soccer intelligence, where he was quickly distributing, look for the direct play down the field, and would just quickly attack it. Now, I was pretty impressed by that during that scrimmage. It blew me away, because I didn't know he was going to bust that out like that as a goalie too.
The only thing I would disagree with you there on Bijan is that Eli, he doesn't play soccer year round. So Eli, just like when we saw in that first practice we had with him, like he doesn't know the situational awareness. He doesn't know.
He doesn't have the experience. Yeah, you're right.
Experience, correct, Hugh. Yeah, like he caught the ball as a keeper, and I mean he's a phenomenal athlete. He's an athletic, which is why we put him on a team. But he caught the ball as a keeper, and he rolled it out immediately with a defender right there where you would see number 3. Imagine you throw number 8 right there on number 3. He was just, because we were coaching him to like catch the ball because Camden wasn't there. Camden was playing in the co-ed game, and so we had Eli, who was our number 2 in goal, because we want Aiden preferably to be on the field. We were kind of coaching Eli, catch the ball and like immediately look for like distribution, right or left. And he caught the ball and rolled it out like with a forward right there to intercept the ball.
Yeah.
So Eli doesn't quite possess the game
awareness.
Awareness, yeah.
Yeah, but Eli should go out on the wing, like out here.
Yeah,
where he can just run.
Yes, yeah.
I like him. I like him defensive. I think we're not giving him as much credit as he do, just because of the not playing year round, and he definitely made that mistake. I know exactly what you're talking about too, but he did listen to he's a coachable, and he listened to when you told him what to do, and then from that point on is when he kind of started to change the game up a little bit. To be honest, I think Eli shouldn't be playing goalie. He should be playing on the field 100%, because I think he felt more comfortable using his feet. That's why he came out towards the end and was sweeping like a sweeper keeper, because he just wasn't comfortable taking command as a goalie like that. And he was also, what I liked about Eli was he was communicating, and you have to communicate from the back. You're like a director at center back. You're telling everybody, make the run down the line. You get to see the entire field, so you're, got to say switch. But you've got to direct. But that communication's got to progress the entire field. But think about when Kyle Cruz was our goalie, he would yell at us from the
Yeah.
goalie, just like, and that, I distinctly remember him barking out orders, but not orders, but it was, he could see what we couldn't really see, because we hadn't developed that situational awareness yet, or that spatial awareness, and that's we could act accordingly. The simple man on. I don't know if we heard that once during the
Yeah,
scrimmage.
to your point, Bijan, Kyle Cruz was one of a kind. He was so
Yeah.
communicative. He was just this. Hugh, this was our Bijan and I's best friend. He would have been the best man at my wedding if I didn't have Scott, my younger brother. But I mean, Kyle was the best goal you could ask for. I mean, because he screamed at everybody on the field, and you could hear him 6 fields away. Which is another thing that we're trying to build into our team is communication. Like if I can't hear you as a coach on the sideline, and I would like you to speak to that, Hugh. Like one of the points I try to make to our kids is if I can't hear you on the sideline, your players probably, your teammates probably can't hear you.
I would agree. It's projecting your voice is definitely something that this age they haven't quite figured out. And it'll just come with time. Just circling back, would it be safe to say that Kyle Cruz was y'all's team captain, or is he just the loud guy in the back?
He was a captain.
He was the captain. Okay, I figured. Someone that chatty on the field that can help direct, give clues and context. Hey, man on, release, switch. Shift left,
Exactly.
shift right, whatever. Blah, 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 blah.
The goalie is viewing
the whole field. Yeah. Everything's in front of him. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's a very difficult thing to coach into a goalkeeper. It comes from comfortability. They have to speak the language of soccer fluently so that they can say the right thing, and it's not just kind of worthless words. But I'd like to move forward. So let's go to the midfield here, Wayne. How do you see your midfield stacking up here? Is this a 1-2-1? Are you going to have Keaton kind of out here, or your left winger out here and your right winger out here? So you're really like how do you see this? And if you want to move them, go ahead.
I think in this first game, just by nature, Keaton and Winston are going to be playing forward. I think that's just by what I've witnessed with our boys not having been able to practice with them. So Bijan and I are going to have to kind of coach them into getting back to help in the defense.
That's a big ask for that player, because you're asking a right forward to then also play as a right back. It's a very big ask, right? You're asking him to drop into this line here like this.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I feel like by their nature, both Keaton and Winston, who I feel like are going to be our starting outside, Winston for sure.
Yep.
Eli for me is a potential left winger. Yeah. I think we can I feel like we can develop him into a left winger. I completely agree with Bijan that he's got a defensive mindset, but
he's an athlete.
Yeah, he's just an athlete. He just doesn't have the experience in soccer. But I feel like our outside wings are going to be playing forward mindset, which is almost going to, like Bijan said, make us a 4-3-3. Just because we haven't had a chance to coach them in practice. So, and it's going to be a 4-3-3, yes, with a.
Is this how you're imagining the midfield right here?
It's like a 3-4-3 diamond almost, huh? Like a 4-4-2 diamond.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely see Keaton and Winston pushing forward. A lot, which I think is good.
3-4-3. It's one of my favorite formations of all time.
That's
total football, huh?
again, having not had the chance to practice with our full team, I see our like the instincts of these boys who are all great soccer players and athletic. They're offensive. I feel like our team, the 16 boys, 10 of them are offensive minded.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they are, which I think is a positive thing. Like they are going to score. They know that you can't win a game if you don't score.
So Wayne, help me out here. How do you fill in this midfield? Do you like this as is? Do you like the players here?
I would switch Tricky and Nico.
You'd switch Tricky and Nico like this.
And give me your. Okay. I really do like the thought of Jacob, like letting Jacob be our go-to man.
The number 9 up top.
The number 9.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. My only issue with Tricky is just keep an eye on him to see how he's playing off the ball. Obviously, if he's on the ball, he's going to be locked in. He's going to be doing his best to create chances going forward. But when he's not on the ball or he's on defense and there's a guy in front of him, we just have to see. I don't know. I haven't watched him play in like 2 years.
Well,
so we have to see how he's going to react on defense. I haven't seen him play in the middle as like a center mid as opposed to a number 10.
I've watched him play the last 4 months because that's what the position he's playing. He's pretty much playing CAM on Owen's team. For the Fire, and you make a very good point. My question is, I haven't seen Nico. Like, does Nico get back on defense?
Yes,
Nico. He's just
he
in
gets
there.
Stuck in.
And it looks like Harry is too. So here's a.
Sorry, when you keep going.
No, you go ahead, BJ.
No. I would say Nico was unstoppable in that scrimmage. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like he came. I mean,
he needs Nico needs players to run off the ball. He needs somebody.
He even needs players running. That's huge. He took it to the goal. He took it to the house. He had one. I don't know. He came back. There was one play. I mean, granted, it was just one play, but it could have developed into a goal, and he took it, broke that line. I think he even he may have passed it to Winston and got Winston sent him in, and he broke that line, but he came back, won the ball from the team, from the 7th graders, took it from where that number 6 position is on the screen now, and he took it all the way and took a shot on target. And I was remember to get to there, he had to, I think, beat 2 other players and pass off and give and go, but it didn't even phase him. After that, he was still going after the ball. He had a great attitude. I love Nico's playing style, his attitude, all of that. I think he could do any position out there. He may not be happy with defense or something, but he'd do it, and he'd probably make an attack and run every now and then too.
Totally agree. I mean, he's got to be a midfielder. You need him on the ball. The more he gets on the ball, the better your team is going to do attacking because he's just going to create. He's going to create. He's either going to dribble other players open or he's going to find players in the front line open. He'll play them in. So anywhere in the middle, I don't think you can go wrong with Nico. It's just a matter of who's around him.
There's also the question, Hugh, of as I'm looking at the formation of sitting Nico back in at number 8 and putting Tricky at 10 and letting Tricky and Jacob kind of be our 2 in attack and letting Nico. Yeah. I also do. I mean, number 5, I would like to see Luke Finasci.
Okay.
Sit in at that number 5. And it's, again, who can be, like, who's that solid player that when we repossess the ball there in defense can play it out to Eli or the number 3 or number 2.
If you put Luke here, it allows you to put Will out here, someone who has experience on the ball. And Luke has played enough soccer that he's at least not toe poking the ball. Like, he at least knows the proper technique.
Yeah,
the thing I think that's going to make it difficult for Luke is that his speed of play is maybe a little too slow for what maybe like a Nico Tricky area or Rambo can do. But he's in the back line, so he doesn't necessarily have to have that like instant like pop, 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 pop type of play. He can take a touch. He can afford to take a touch, have a little bit of time, and then release the ball. So, something to think about. Tomorrow, I wouldn't even worry about losing. I would worry about finding where everyone fits in best and then just rotate. So I'm going to segue here before we spend too much time on this one formation. Bijan, let's move over to your shape, which is the 4-3-3 with a single pivot, right?
Okay. So
help me out here.
Let me try to take over on this board real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm going to help move at least 2 players' names I know.
All right. Let's see. Well, I'm going to get try to draw. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to do the red players, I guess, as my, all right. Keaton is here. Winston. Nico's my 8. I want Tricky as my 9.
I do think that Tricky is going to make a pretty good 9. I think Tricky and Jacob are going to be pretty good interchangeable number 9s.
Thanks. If you put Tricky at the 9, it gives you freedom to move Jacob back to center back,
That's actually when Jacob there.
There's a part of me that thinks wants to see Jacob at that number 5.
Yeah. I think you got to try it tomorrow. I think you have to.
Like I've put together 2 uniquely different formations.
So I want to change Eli to Logan Rude, actually.
Oh, yes. I agree with Bijan 100% there.
Who's this?
Logan Rude.
Okay. He's the player. Hugh, you actually picked him out that second.
Don't remember.
That second trial. He came from DFC. He was.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's
center back?
No, I want him on the right back. Right wing back, because he was getting into attack. He was pushing up. He was dropping. He was very aware of his role, and he
agree with Bijan.
And I feel like he could play offense, but he knew what to do, and he knew he was just reading the field well. And he was getting involved in the attack, which is very rare at this level. Seeing the wing backs get up into the attack.
Also, bonus, Bijan and Hugh. He came to our Monday practice after the co-ed game. He was the only one of 6 players.
Oh, shit.
Very good point, Wayne. Very good point.
Came to the last 15 minutes of practice to show Bijan and I. Like,
he came on the field too. Like, bam, right after the gate, just hammering away. So he just
came
almost
from
like
the co-ed game on Monday. His dad brought him to practice, like, oh, we can make it for the last 15 minutes of practice. So, like, the commitment is.
What's his last name?
Rude. R-U-D-E. And he did. He got on the field, like, I remember him running on and being like, "What do you kind of messing up our, we had 10 kids here, and he made number 11, and we had one of the 7th grade goalies playing goalie, and
that goalie was awesome too.
And we put him on the field. He showed up. I was impressed by both his skill and the commitment to like make it to the practice for the last 15 minutes after the co-ed game.
So I in another tab, I just pulled up You'll know the professional Ruud Gillett.
Oh, the name sounds so familiar.
He was a Dutch player, played for AC Milan. He had that really cool long dreadlock hair. If I showed you a photo, you'd be like, I know who you're talking about.
Well, I saw a photo.
Oh, you were looking at it. You saw it.
Yeah, it was I'm on the stream start yard watching the tackle board. Yeah, so Ruud
Gillett.
Yeah.
AC Milan legend, won a whole bunch of Champions Leagues. Like, there he is. AC Milan.
Anyway, I completely agree with you, Bijan, that if it was up to me, he'd start at right back.
All right, so our center backs here, it looks like we've got 4 players. You got Will, Luke, Eli, and Bourne.
So I'm just gonna come out the gate. I want to build. I guess I think Hugh mentioned to me one point preseason. Build your foundation or your core, and I know a lot of times your core could be thought of as the back liner. In this scenario, I'm thinking of my core as my 2 center backs, 4 and 5, and then my 11, 9, and 7. So they kind of create this giant pentagon with these players. And then everything else in the middle is kind of creativity and letting the players make the formation work for what it is. But these players, they form just like that. And then then everything else it intermingles with that formation. So Tricky up high, I don't care if he works back. I'm going to stroke his ego. I want him to take on players. I want him all the way up. I'm serious. I want him all the way up. I want him on the last defender, pushing that limit. I want him to take it on players. I want him to like I said, stroke that ego, score those goals. For Winston and Keaton, I like them playing wide. I don't mind them. So Wayne is 100% correct we like to on defense. We need to drop to get compact and get behind the ball. But with all these different formations, there's going to be a bit of a disconnect, like between midfield and defense. I think the key workaround to Keaton and Winston working all the way back would be to use Logan and Harry Maguire, number 2 and 3. Have them also work in conjunction with each other in the wide areas to get the ball on Langston down into the golden zone, which would be the other team's box, where Keaton and Winston can I want them actually dribbling it down and going towards the goal or crossing it in. I don't mind if they take on players and it doesn't work out. At least they tried. But it's so the middle. There's so many aspects. The tough part is going to be the center backs.
I actually like your idea, Bijan. I like the idea of having Harry out as an outside back.
He held on to the ball a little. So the whole aspect of thirds, defensive third, middle third,
right,
the final third of the cook zone. It's
my man.
He was dribbling too much. I mean, I think when you even told he beat the kid twice, and then he tried to beat this. He went back to beat the kid a third time, and he did that all in our own defensive third. So it's great skill, but then with great skill comes great responsibility. He needs to get the ball up to Keaton or to Nico. That's where that triangle is, or to Rambo, because Rambo will come over and. I mean, you've got triangles all over
It's got to go inside. That ball that it's so on Hugh. I know you saw that when we were playing that little the scrimmage you put together on that. It was Saturday or Sunday. That 1-2, that inside ball. These boys, we've got to drill that into their heads. That you play that inside ball and you make the run past the defender and you get it back.
Yeah,
it's on all day at this age. All day. And
all day long.
I can't speak to, I just know that it is when playing with these kids. It's like there's so many times when I'm playing with them, like at the practice you put together, Hugh, or when I'm at tryouts or whatnot, that I check to the ball and I'm calling for it. I'm saying Keaton, Ari, and they don't play it. Instead of playing the simple inside pass to me and letting me play it one touch back to them, they try to take that guy on the outside, and they end up losing the ball or going out of bounds.
Yeah, that's not the place to try and dribble. Especially when you have a teammate who's wide open inside. At this age, what I've noticed is they're just starting to open their vision up to the side.
Yeah,
to even see that ball inside. So just hammering that home. Look inside, look inside, look inside. Not only that, but trusting the teammate on the inside to just
be
have
there.
the ball and not turn it over. Be there, number one, yes, and then not turn it over, because that's what I feel like most of these kids do. Is they take the ball themselves because they don't trust the guy that they're passing to not turn it over. So in their mind, it's like, well, if it's going to get turned over there, let me at least take the risk to try and beat my man.
Yeah.
That's the wrong mentality in that.
I agree with you, yeah. And then on the flip side, there's so much, which I know you've seen in your 10 years or more experience, Hugh, in this age soccer, because I saw it in the 3 years I coached a decade ago at Christian Brothers, is when you play that inside ball into the center midfield, maybe the first time you do play the wall pass back, but the opportunity to switch the field.
Oof.
My good, when you're coming from when Harry's coming from the number 3's coming from that left hand side out the back, and he plays it inside into the middle, the right side is wide open. Just wide open for a through ball.
So I think what we have to do is we have to take our back line. We've got to tell them to look to play direct as soon as they get it. If the direct ball is not on to the winger or to the center forward, then they need to look inside to Nico or the CDM. And if that's not on, then they work to Eli, then to Will, and then to Logan, and try to find those gaps. That's how they will find gaps. But their main thought should be getting the ball direct to our offensive attackers, and then we've got to step. That was one thing that I remember just having that to just call out, like step.
Yeah.
And every time they would step, they were getting, they were staying connected as a unit. And connection is important, because if we have just Tricky by himself, then who's he have to support him? Or if he loses the ball, so we're going to have just the one player, and then they're going to push into space. I mean, we have actually very quality players that I was very impressed with the way that they were moving the ball around in this formation. I've never seen players, I guess, play as well as they did in this formation, moving the ball. They switched to play a couple times and then I just remember being like, "Great, that was awesome." And I just really didn't even expect them to do that once. And they blew away all expectations at how advanced they were playing in a first time scenario with this as a team with different players. But I know a lot of them play together. I'm very eager to see Jacob and the element he brings to this team. I want to see how Aiden fits into this paradigm, because I think he's a great center back or wing back, and that would open up a lot of options as well.
Yeah,
it's like I know we have so many weapons on this team that we run deep. We got a deep bench as of now. I mean, it's tough to say who would play where. I mean, I didn't even get to see Bourne play yet, and I still feel like we've got a lot of pieces on the board, but maybe that puzzle's not fully resolved yet.
No,
and we're at a good place, though. I think I want my center backs, though, 4 or 5, I want them staying compact, centralized in the exact channel that you have them. And I'm going to tell them to use the penalty box as a guide. Staying
the 6-yard box, right?
Yep, the 6 yard box. No, no, I want them to stay in that channel. They can go wide, but they better not drift outside. Well, yeah, they. I don't want them drifting outside the 18-yard box. I definitely want them though in that central channel so they can stay compact. And if we lose the ball, they'll be in that direct central area defending that critical zone where the opponents like to take a lot of shots and attack the goal. That's like that goal zone kind of for the opponent's team. So if we can get them staying central, Rambo staying at the tip of that spear, and staying behind the attacking midfield, he's that screen. He's that first line of he will disrupt the play if they get into our wherever they are, to be honest.
One interject if I can, Bijan. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
We've Anderson, I think is going to make a great number 6, but I don't want to discount the fact that he could be, like with this group of boys, Anderson could be a potential left wing, throw Airy in there at number 6, so you got Airy, Jacob, Nico, as we're looking at the field right now, kind of thing, like there's so much potential with these boys, and a lot of them have played multiple positions.
We're gonna have to make subs, and we're not really factoring. We haven't even thought about subs, and we're gonna have to make multiple subs throughout the game. They're gonna get tired because we have 16 players compared to in the past when I've had 22. These boys are gonna get tired, so we're gonna have the opportunity to shift players around. I have no doubt in my mind that we're gonna this will change throughout the season, but we can see players in different positions for sure.
Tricky for Owen's team, with the Fire has played that CDM, that number 6, so throwing Tricky back there, there's so much potential with these boys. They're just so skilled.
Tricky played 6?
Yeah, he played 6. Mm-hmm.
What?
But did he work? Did he work back to prevent them from getting to that? Because so I feel like my 6, he's like, I think of him as the one who's also, so you get your center backs, they're seeing the entire field, but then you've got the name Rambo is perfect for him because he's like the Rambo right there in the defensive line. He's intimidating. He's on the ball. Got a very.
I guess what I'm saying is we just don't want to get stuck in this mindset of like, Anderson is our number 6. Anderson, we might get in the season and like Nico might be the guy that is finishing, like throw Nico up top. Like if they can get him the ball, Nico can get past that last, like Nico is, if we can get him the ball and he has to beat one person, he's going to beat him.
Yeah, the closer he is to the goal, the higher chance for more goals.
Yeah.
See, I like Nico and Jacob. I feel like Jacob's got speed, and I have a feeling he's got a good soccer IQ. The reason why I like them in those attacking mid spot is because they're going to be almost box to box, I have a feeling. And Nico, well, he may not be box to box. He'll be more of a creative playmaker to where you want him on the ball as much as possible, moving that ball to get the ball up to our forwards. But that doesn't mean he's not going to be attacking and shooting, because a lot of times as these, let's just say we're pushing up. We've got players running in, attacking the goal. But
and I guess, you go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna show you. I'm thinking of it from a different perspective.
But
show us what you're thinking, Dizzle.
So I'm thinking, we got the center backs up here. I'm gonna have to just not worry about the names.
Don't worry about the names. We got the numbers.
We've got.
Sorry.
We've got our inverted fullbacks right there. CDM here, he's on the ball. They've worked the ball out successfully. They've got it to Anderson, which they did multiple times in that scrimmage. So now he's got Jacob, Nico. Tricky needs to be up in there. And let's just say we'll play it organically. He passes here, for instance, or here, or he just decides to dribble it himself, for instance. Dribble, bam, bam, out wide, cross it in there, bam, boom. I
All right.
mean, it's they can if the attacking mids if they so the important part for our midfield triangle is they have to work off of each other. They have to have a synergy to where they're playing a little bit offset actually, to where maybe something like this. But this triangle is critical because they can rotate,
All right.
and when they're rotating, like I said, that's movement off of the ball, creating space, pulling out players, creating space for our, whoever it is to make things happen, to make our CDM happen. And then let's just say it goes in tricky. It's all about that movement off the ball. That's something else we got to drill into their heads.
All
We
right.
pass and we move. We put ourselves into a position that we can help our teammates out, and we need to communicate, ask for the ball back when we're open in a position of prime position. Now, we got to work on practicing that with them. It's not happen. Those patterns of play aren't going to happen just,
Can I
based off of their
interject
talent.
real
Yeah,
quick?
go for it.
All right. So my experience, you're maroon, we're white. I'm white. Most of the time, in my experience, this is more of what the field looks like. It's almost on one half of the field. So that ball comes out. If the attack's coming down the right side, which is what I'm playing, maroon is attacking from the right side. All their players are here. My whole entire point of having Nico as number 9 is just getting him free. Like it's going to be having him make that run. So you would think a lot of our guys, we're coming down the attack, coming from the right. Just having whoever we can get as a forward to make this run across the field and receive this ball down the line is one option. The other is, obviously, I think what we'd like to try to teach is building up an attack that goes through the middle. Either way,
we build it. We're going to build width and depth. We use 9 to create depth down the field. We use 11 and 7 to create width in conjunction with our wing backs. That way, it's that pentagon I was kind of telling you about. Width and depth, as far as he cannot be offsides. That way, like you're saying, we build it out. Do we build out down the line to where he can get the ball and then Tricky still can come across? But I want this 9 high, like on the sweeper, like in a way that Reese Thomas played it perfectly. He was in this position he could run on, boom. But you've got these players out here. They're forwards because they call them wingers. They're not working all the way back, and that's because they got to do a lot when they get the ball up here. So, yes, it would ideally, in an ideal world, every player will be dropping back behind the ball, compact on defense.
Hugh, I'd love to get your input on this is something I sent through in a text message, weeks ago. Is having I said Jacob, but having our number 9 kind of just play like Bijan saying, free up there. Just
it's two ways to think about it. You can play like a true number 9 center forward who is doing like what Bijan's doing. He basically just sits back on that center back, just really stretches that back line. Or you can do the classic Messi, the false 9, where he's on paper the center forward, but he's dropping into the midfield, playing a lot of back to goal. He's picking the ball up and able to distribute backwards, allowing us to then go forwards. There's 2 ways to think about a number 9. If you have a Tricky up there at number 9, That's how I would coach him to play. I wouldn't have him be like your Didier Drogba or like your, Anelka, like go sit on that center back. He's not that type of guy. He's your give me the ball at my feet. Let me try and turn a defender. Let me try and extend the possession. Yeah, play it back, extend the possession. And with this single pivot, if you do play direct like Bijan's looking to play, you get to do that over, back, and through to
back through, huh?
So you go over, you're going over, coming back, and then maybe you're going through. And now you're easily creating attacking chances going forward, just like that. You're going over a whole bunch of the lines. Hopefully Tricky can at least get under it. Maybe you chest it, control it, one touch back. Or he might be good enough out the air one time to just lay it off. And he could even lay it off to the other side. He doesn't have to go to the 10. He can go this way, and then we're out here. But these two players on like a punt or on a clearance should not be looking to get that ball out the air, but they should be looking for that second ball. Yep. This is kind of what they teach in England, that who's on the second ball. First ball is obviously going to be tricky. That's who you're looking to play. And then if these guys are really good at the center back, I'm not sure if we're there yet, then you can look to play the wingers. Or you can really play a winger.
Yep.
And now you're playing this winger into space. Because, Wayne, you're absolutely right in that these teams don't know really how to stay shape. So if they attack down the right, you're going to get all of these players sandwiched over here.
If
you can just have one player just kind of, hey, man, we don't need you to defend. Just stay up there. Trust us. We're going to get the ball to you. Play him in. Just send him along.
We did that a couple of times. That's kind of what I was getting. We definitely bunched up at times, but then at other times William was one of the players that played. It's like he played this formation before. He knew the role as a center back. He moved. He looked for that direct play. He found Rambo. Then he knew what to do, and it was Nico who was taking it, either finding Winston or just going himself. Now, I get what you're saying. I want Nico on the ball, and I want him shooting it. If Tricky gets it here, he can lay it off, like we're saying, turn, but he can even play it through, send it through and then have Nico run onto it.
Sure.
Or Jacob. He's extremely fast. He can do the exact same thing. And that's what I want that's why I like them in the attacking mid parts. The attacking midfield positions, because those, like, let's just say they're attacking here. If they're up in this box, Tricky has here, I have a feeling he would pass it back. It would make sense to pass the layoff, have a shot. That puts 8 and 10 in this prime real estate positions for taking chances, as well as 7-11. There's just the offensive capability of the 4-3-3 it's endless. You can really do a lot. There is that disconnect with the defensive, though. When we lose possession of the ball, what do we do defensively? And then how do we also we need to work on with our back line is shifting to support the player that goes to delay the opponent that has the ball. Let's just say our number 3 is going to go take on number 7. We need our defensive line to shift over. And
a lot of this stuff you're saying, most of these kids know. It's instilling the style that you want them to play. Like the basic backline shift, they for the most part they'll understand that. But
they did it, but I have to constantly bark it. And look, that's fine. I get that's what my job is. But that's just the things that they got to always be thinking about in that role. Because each role comes with responsibilities, so they've got to make sure that those responsibilities are being fulfilled in that position.
Yes. I think
that's what it comes to talented player, the right player.
Right.
Is it going to be the talented player or the right player in these positions? That's why, I don't know. It's just, we have so many weapons, though. I feel like our players are talented and right for every role. I'm really like the team. I don't know. It's tough. I'm open to anything. See how it goes, I guess.
I was gonna say, I think what you're saying, Bijan, is more your experience from past teams. Hugh, obviously knowing these boys, and me knowing these boys being Owen's age, they they've been taught this. I don't know what your experience has been with past teams, but they may be more prepared for those tactical shifts.
For the most part, I'd say the predominant most of the team, because they're playing 9v9. Now it's not 7v7, so there's going to be a little bit of disconnect between what we're trying to show them and what they already know. And you'll get that the two center backs that we're gonna. I think we start with that, see how it goes, and then maybe in the second half switch to a single center back. The only reason I like Wayne's single center back is because they're comfortable with it. They all know how to play with a single center back and the outside backs because they play that.
One of them
all season. They all play. It's a 3-man back line.
One of them is going to know, like, I'm the last. Rather than going, do you got the Super Bowl?
You, me, yeah, night at the Roxbury.
Yeah,
you,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that did happen a lot too. You're right about that.
It's just something to think about. Who are we playing tomorrow? I forgot.
Trinity. So yeah,
it's like
we'll be tested.
Yeah.
The boys probably know who their best players are. Trinity. If it's still the same coach, is it still Mario, or is it going to be Chris Core? Do we know?
Don't know.
No idea. Mario.
If it's Mario, then they're going to be well coached. So we have to just be prepared for
that. And I kind of want to, Bijan, I kind of want to go out there and go, who's willing to play this number 5? Like, who is going to?
William, dude. William's going to step up for that.
Do it. Let him play.
He was vocal about it. And he was.
He's got the experience. He's got the technique. It's not a bad fit.
It's not a bad. You're right.
My question with this is Luke Panassi. He told me he was only a striker. And he did not feel comfortable at all. He said, he didn't even look like he was comfortable in that backline. He was, I don't remember. He was kind of nervous, timid. And I was like, Luke, you all right, buddy? Like Luke Panassi. He's big. He was at the but that's when I remember I moved him from the thing up to that striker role because he said I don't know how to play back. I play striker. I'm like, all right, you're a striker.
That's bullshit. I literally won a championship with Luke Panassi in my back line. That is
okay. Well, then he was totally.
I'll say this: is Luke did not look like he knew what he was doing as a forward.
No, he did not. He didn't look like he at all. I agree. That's why I'm like, I don't. Maybe I was just taking his word for it. But
Luke is a cerebral player. He'll be a player that you can pull out the tack board and say, "Hey, man, we're going to play you at center back. This is what I'm looking for from you back here," and you just show him a couple of things, and you got it.
I can't believe he told me he was a striker.
He's not a striker. He's a striker on his club team because he's big, he's fast, he's athletic. So if I had to guess, his team is play the ball over the top. Luke, get on the end of it and see if you can do something. Ask him how many goals he scored, and that'll tell you if he's really a striker or not.
No, I mean, I'll tell you right now, he didn't. I don't remember. He didn't touch the ball. He made those runs, but he didn't touch the ball once.
Another thing,
but I tell you what, he was trying. Don't get me wrong. He just wasn't. He didn't make the right runs.
We don't need someone who's going to try it forward. We need goal scorers.
We need the egoist. We need
a goal scorer.
We need him. Yes,
we lost, but he tried hard. He sure did try hard.
They gotta want those. They gotta really want the goal. They gotta have this mentality where the goal is like when we're saying goals win the games, and I get that vibe from the team. We've got some.
Winston's going to score a lot of goals. Nico's going to score.
We got ballers.
Those are going to be your 2 leading goal scorers. I don't know about Jacob. I don't know if he can even strike a ball. That's something we should do to start the game. Is just set up a little passing pattern that gets them shooting on the ball. Who can shoot a moving ball?
Yeah,
Like that should be your top list. Who can strike a ball on the move, not who's got the best free kick. If the ball's moving, it's bouncing, it's on this uneven turf. Who can strike it and hit it on frame? Right now, it's Nico and it's Winston. And maybe
have y'all seen Jacob play?
Keaton can hit.
I've only seen Jacob play at tryouts.
He's a center mid. He's a center back. He's on the ball. He's smart. He's high soccer IQ. Not sure if he's both.
I imagine he'd be very much a similar player to Jay. I think that God, we'll
try him in the middle.
We're gonna give we're gonna just we're gonna give a bunch of kids a bunch of different looks at a bunch of different positions.
Yeah,
you know
we have to
really do. Put Nico in the back line. Just like really establish that tomorrow is just we're gonna see where everybody can play. Build a back line.
I bet you he could do it, and I bet you he'll still create chances. You know what? We'll tell him that, and he'll say, "Okay." He'll maybe moan about it, but he'll do it, and he'll take it as a problem solving. The way Nico's mind works is he's got a great attitude. He's a problem solver, and that's what this game is about. Every player is faced with their own problems. They got to solve them and get into that box and score. Nico loves that, and he showed it that scrimmage. And I was never. He's a good player.
Yeah, and we got out to Croatia.
Yeah,
we were saying something about I'm Croatian, coach. I got this. So
he's Croatian. Got out to Croatia.
Yeah, and we foster that. We continue to foster that as coaches, Bijan. We just I'm not used to this positive attitude from this team. I'm used to this is a great team, and that the overall positive attitude that I get from these players is awesome. And they're not talking back. They're accepting their roles. Aside from getting conned by Luke, but that's not even a problem. I like that actually now. And he's got a little trickiness. He's got a little deceptiveness. I like that. Everybody wants to be.
None of them had this bad attitude. They're like, "No, coach, I'm not doing that." Blah blah blah. I mean, nothing yet. But
my energy saver's on. My computer's about to die, and
we're fading.
Plugging it in.
About it. We're an hour and 12 in. By the way, people have been tuning in as we've been watching. We had a max of 5 people tune in. So it's pretty cool.
Bam!
All right.
Okay, so this is let's cap it here. So I think we did a really good job breaking down the 3-man back line, the 4-man back line. Obviously, this team, I think we can all agree, is so gifted that we could move players in at least each player can probably play 3 different positions.
Right.
By the end of the season. I think tomorrow the goal should be finding 2 positions for every player. Win or lose the game, don't even worry about. I'm not gonna end it right away, Bijan. We got time. We gotta do shout outs. We gotta close it out.
I gotta hear you too. I gotta hear your thoughts. Why you want a 2 pivot, like the reverse pivot for the 4-2-3-1. I want to know your thoughts on that.
I love a 4-2-3-1 just because of that box. That box that you can build with the back line and your 2 center defensive mids. This is one of my favorite things to do in soccer. Just because it's robust, it's strong. Your outside backs can be way out of position, and all you need is one of these guys to do this. And now you got a back 4, snap of a finger. It's really nice for that regard if you want your outside backs to go forward. I like my outside backs to attack. And so this prevents any sort of out of position play. This player can drop in. If this 2 decides to counter, the 5 can slide over and at least delay the attack. And if we can delay the attack, then my 3 can come back and we can at least recover positions being out of place. But
that takes some practice.
It does. I would start with the very simple, basic 4-3-3. You can't go wrong there. We have 3 forwards. We have 3 midfielders. We got 4 in the back. Easy, simple. Let's go play.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I'm just the aspect with the CDMs, the 2 of them in front of that back line. So you're putting your gifted players in the wing back positions. Well, not your gifted, your talented players and giving them that freedom to attack down the line.
Yeah, but I don't know if we have those players, so I don't know if I'd try this. I have to see what they all can do. Tomorrow will be eye-opening for me. I don't know if we have
Logan and Ari could do that. Logan, they have that ability. They did it.
Harry's got to play middle for me.
No, you want Harry in the middle?
Harry's got to be in the middle.
I completely agree. He's
got to be in the middle. He's an
EDM. I mean, like attacking mid,
box to box.
No,
he's
5 or 6.
Or he can play 4 or 5. Yeah, he can play in the center backs. Like Harry could play
I see that.
either of these.
Well, here's the thing, Bijan. If you want Harry to play, like Harry can play Harry can play where Anderson's playing, and you drop.
No, I like Harry offensively too. Because I'm trying to understand. So how do you coach that mindset of making the fullbacks or the outside backs comfortable to attack down the line like that? And you've got to have an attack-minded player. We've got attack-minded players. We've got a lot of them, like we said. But which ones do you put back there? Do you put the ones that are naturally your attacking mids in that spot, or do you put?
I wouldn't even worry about that for tomorrow. I wouldn't even worry because that's like your second element of the attack. Focus on your front three because we don't even know who those are yet. Build the front three. Figure out who your best front three are. Okay, check the box. Figure out who your best center backs are. Okay, check the box. And then the midfield. The midfield's going to be a revolving door all season long because we have so many attack-minded players that can play there. You got Harry, you got Jacob, you got Nico, you got Tricky, you got Keaton could probably play in the middle. Winston might be able to play in the middle. I mean, you got like 7 players that could play in the center mids. Let them and Rambo. Fucking Rambo.
Bijan, do you like Harry at one of those outside backs because of his ability to get involved in the attack from the defensive perspective? Yeah.
That was my thought process behind that, and then having competent players on the ball back there like that. And we also only had 10 players that day. We were down. It was a tough decision, but I also hadn't seen anything from because this was his first practice. It was his tryout practice.
We hadn't seen him in tryouts, but no, Harry's, in my opinion, Hugh's is second to Nico. His just instinct. Like he's got a knack for the.
He's a baller. Get him on the ball. Get him in the middle.
Yeah.
He's also going to
get him the ball and let him go forward.
Yeah, he's going to blow up some kids too on tap. He's just a physical monster. There's a reason
he was definitely physical,
right? I hate to say it, like he got a concussion.
He almost got hurt. He got hurt at the very first. I was like, oh gosh. I said, Aaron, we may have to cut you if you can't play, buddy. Like if you're hurt. And then he actually got nervous. I was like, I'm joking with you, buddy. Because he doesn't know me, and so when I said that, he was like, "Oh, I'm like, it's all right. You're fine. You're good."
He's just a bull. He's a bull, and he's an engine, and he's you got to put him in the middle of the field somewhere. I think if you put him on the outside back, you better build your attack through him. That way, he's at least on the ball.
That is a thought.
It's a thought.
Too early. That's a strategic thought.
Yeah,
I don't discount that.
It could be done. I would not do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'd make center of your formation. And Bijan, I really like your single pivot. I like this a lot because now you're getting 2 players in this line, you're getting 2 players in this line, and you're getting 2 players in this line. You're getting 6 players, and you're building 1, 2, 3, 4 lines up the field with lots of triangles. I mean, these are excellent triangles that you're building here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like these, that's awesome.
I know, we gotta get a practice in. Man, we haven't been able to practice with these kids. But Bijan, to your thought, to get
this is it.
Winston and Harry lined up on that right hand side and get those two coordinating together to get Harry behind Winston and have Harry get involved in that is a strategic thought. Those 2 on the right hand side, it would be dominant.
Okay, I got an idea for you. So old school AC Milan, they used to throw Gattuso in the middle. It's like here we're not going to give you the ball. If you win the ball, just find Pirlo. Like we know you're not the attacking guy. You can put an Eli in the middle of the field. And what that does is then it pushes like a Rambo. It pushes a Jacob to your outside backs. Now you can get Harry and Jacob as an outside back with maybe Keaton and Winston. And all you do is you just put someone in the middle of the field. Hey, man, run, go knock someone over, win the ball back, and find someone else. And now you've shifted. Yeah, I see that now. I see it. That was a good thought, Wayne. And Bijan, I missed that. As you were saying it, it didn't click, but you absolutely you do a Pirlo and you do a Gattuso in the middle. You pair a very gifted player on the ball with just like a bull, like someone who's just going to go win that ball back and then play it to Nico. Play it to
having Harry and Winston on that right side. We just got a plethora of talent here because we're what do they call it?
Powerhouse, baby. We're a powerhouse.
Yeah, we are fucking powerhouse.
We got multiple kids that can play because obviously that it's the three in the middle that we're looking for. It's the 10, the 6, the 8 that and the 9. And we've got a number of kids that seem to be able to play that position. And so, if we can make a dominant right wing with Winston and Harry, that might be a thing. I'm still. And there is some bias of like what we've been told by parents and what we've seen kids play of like this is where they should play, but within the dynamic of this team, again, Jacob, I feel like would make a great defensive back. To me, a question is like, is that gonna, if he's used to playing center mid or forward or an attacking position, is that going to minimize or diminish his want to play if we're like, hey, you're playing center back? It's also something to think about. It's taking a player who's been playing center mid for the last 2 years.
Coach's job has got to be, hey, man, we're here to win and represent the school.
Agree.
This is where you're going to serve the team best. Like, I know you don't want to play here. You're not going to always play here, but for right now, like, do the team a service and be the best that you can be here so that we can go out there and win games as a team.
So I think Bijan, tomorrow we go and
we should experiment. We should do it one way, and then we should do a totally different way the second half.
Yep.
And that way we can see all those players that we have that we like, in those experimental positions. It's going to totally mess with Trinity's head. It's total because it's going to be a different formation, different everything. And it's going to give the boys that freedom to do what they would like to do while also letting us see what they can do, type of thing.
We go out. We stick with our guns. Yeah, you and I'll. Hugh, you're going to be at the game tomorrow?
I am.
Wait. Hugh, wait.
We are going to.
I'm going to be yelling like a motherfucker tomorrow.
I'm going
to be yelling like crazy, dog. I'm going to be such a hype man.
And get this. After the game, Olivia turns 18 tomorrow.
Wow.
Damn. Holy shit.
We all going.
Damn, she's off to college, dude.
Bonton Prime Rib.
Nice.
I'm taking the family to Bonton Prime Rib tomorrow night for Olivia's 18th birthday.
Wayne, nice. You helped me segue. At the end of our podcast, we like to do a shout out. Where you get to shout out someone you love, someone you hate. It's whatever you want. It could be a person, a thing, a team, a player. So give us your shout out just one more time. Who's your shout out?
All right, that's a perfect segue because I got to end this. I got things to do before I got to get to bed tonight. Shout out is to Olivia Pierce, my daughter, turned 18 tomorrow, national gymnastics champion. What's the next thing? What's the second part of it?
That's it. Just a shout out. Just someone you love, someone you hate, and that's it.
Oh, shout out to Olivia. Also, shout out to
You don't have to do the hate part. That was just like some people really come on here with a gripe. Some people come on here with a gripe and they're like, you know what? Fuck that dude. And you go and shout him out. You're like, all right, cool, whatever, man.
I'm thoroughly trying to think of somebody I hate right now.
No, don't do it. It's just,
I got tonight.
Thank goodness.
Think about it. Bijan, who's someone you want to shout out? Team, player?
My son Leonardo. big shout out to him. He's really picking up the game and enjoying it. Not like he's impressing me with his love for the because he's at that age where he's learning it. He's starting to get that passion. He's got picking his own teams. He's big into Liverpool.
Damn, sorry,
but
dude.
he wants his names on the back of the jerseys. He doesn't want anybody else. I'm telling you, he wants his name. I mean, it's awesome. But the one I hate, I'm not a fan of Messi right now. F Messi. I'm not happy he won against Mueller, and I know that's a hot take. But you know what? He didn't show up for that Orlando City game. I'm still mad about that. He was hiding while Suarez, Alba, all of them were in the trenches, taking it to fighting hard, getting heckled. I was out there getting heckled, and he didn't even show up. Not even show his face in the suites. That's why that's my issue with Messi. Even though he is the GOAT, don't get me wrong. He's got skill, but he didn't show up. Well, Ronaldo, the GOAT is Ronaldinho, but that's a different story.
Oh, yeah, Ronaldo. I got him in the studio. He's ready. I got him.
What about Ronaldo?
The only reason
what about R9? What about R9, dude? R9's the GOAT.
I got R9. Don't worry about R9's here. He's with us.
Yeah.
That's
a GOAT.
The only reason Bijan is upset with Messi is because
the game. That's what I just said. I was true. At an Orlando City game.
You buy a flight. You go out there. You're hoping to see Messi kick the ball around, and then
it wasn't even that so much as it was. You know what? If you didn't show up all the time, it was just the way Orlando were embarrassing everybody that were there for Messi. It was. I mean, we set ourselves up for that, but they were going after. They were bullying the team. Like all the other Orlando was beating. They were physically beating down the players. Like Suarez, he's old. He had his ankles taped up. He was fighting hard. He created a goal with an assist.
I don't know any of the details,
dude. I can't imagine leaving Band of Brothers. You can't leave your boys in the trenches like that. And that's what Messi did in that game. And that's changed my viewpoint on him. And so yeah, I was hoping Mueller won the MLS Cup, and that's why I said it. But respectfully, I say that, of course.
All right.
So
I respect that. My shout out is going to be to AC Milan for tomorrow. They got a big game. They are 3 points behind the Serie A leaders Napoli, and they got a game in hand. If they can win tomorrow, they will be tied for first place. So shout out to the Rossoneri, AC Milan, Mike Maignan, Christian Pulisic, Rafa Leao, and the coach Maximiliano Allegri.
Pulisic playing with AC.
Oh, dude, I think Modric's on Real.
Modric is on Real. So, he's on AC Milan.
Yeah, he's on AC. That's right. I was gonna say I thought Modric went over there too.
Dude, he's balling.
I was watching the game. If Pulisic came off the bench and he helped create a chance. As soon as he made a difference, Pulisic is great.
In the last 3 years in Serie A, he leads the league in goals and assists. Wow. In the last 3 years.
Wow.
He's been balling. This is like the best he's ever done in his career. And it's all because I'm convinced Milan as a city is much nicer to live in than fucking London. No offense to London. It's just not that great. The weather, oh man, you go to Milan, you got the architecture. Leonardo da Vinci used to spend most of his time in Milan, not in London. It was Milan, and there's a reason. It's just like the energy of the city is just, it's nice. It's very nice. So I'm not surprised he's having the best time of his career in Milan. The food, the city, the architecture, it's amazing. So shout out to those Rossoneri, the Milanista. That'll do it for tonight. We're about 90 minutes into this podcast, so I'm going to close it here unless you got one more thing. Wayne, go ahead.
Just a shout out to our boys tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to the boys. CBS. That's a great shout out, man. That's a great
one.
Shout out to the CBS 5th grade. Excited to coach with y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, boys.
Look forward to it.
Peace.
Love you.
Peace.
Let's go.